Hi, I want to show you an interesting workflow that I discovered recently that includes Figma, BCMS, and Cursor. So in the initial phase of developing a new website, you want to plan and decide on the structure of the website. So let's say you have a design and you want to distinguish or decide which parts of the website are going to be editable by your clients, but also how they are going to edit those files. When I say how, I mean permissions. I mean what parts of the content in the CMS are going to be reusable. Thinking about that requires some clear picture and oral understanding of the project, but also thinking about user experience for your clients to be able to edit the website and scale it. So an interesting approach that I discovered recently is using Figma MCP and letting Cursor go through the designs, understand the structure of the website, and let Cursor structure the schema for BCMS. When I say schema, I mean what kinds of entities, entries, templates are going to be in BCMS and how they are going to be structured. For example, what properties do I want my blog to have? Here in front of me, I have a real estate agency website, and it is listing some real estate options for you, and each of them has some properties. So hopefully, Cursor is going to use Figma MCP to go through all these designs and discover those kinds of properties. For example, here in filtering, I can see that there are some property types. Then here on a single property page, we have some more information. So I'm hoping that Cursor is going to discover all those different values and propose a structure for us. I use it several times, not for this project, so it's going to be interesting for me as well to see how it behaves, how it works. But I found it extremely useful when it comes to planning the kind of properties to use for different kinds of values. When I say different kinds of properties, I mean whether it's a string or a dropdown with some options or rich text to allow bold, italic, and so on. So I found it pretty forward-thinking when it comes to structuring that content. Only a few times did I needed to have some intervention and change things. So yeah, the workflow goes like this. I select several templates that I think are meaningful for this phase. So I'm going to select homepage. I can show the rent property list. And then there's a filtering option as well. So there are different kinds of filterings. I see three of them, but maybe I won't use them at all right now and just use this property template because it already has all the values. So I'm hoping that by having all these values, filtering will also work later on in development. So yeah, I think that's going to be enough. I'll disregard contact us, about us, and so on. So let's keep it simple. In dev mode, they are crafting this prompt here for me. So if I go back to Cursor, here I only have MCP connected. In my BCMS, I have an empty project, nothing in it. And if I go to Cursor and say paste the prompt and say using BCMS, this is pretty, I'd say, basic feature or functionality. And for that, I don't think you need any super advanced reasoning model. It is just about being able to read from Figma MCP, figuring out all the content, and then just using available BCMS tools to identify what's available and what's not. So it's reading 3 different separate pages, creating some groups, templates with fields, then sample entries. We can go to BCMS, I guess. Okay, so it starts creating templates. There's a home page, listing page, property, service, site settings. Okay, so it figured out to create service, and even though I did not select this service, it's probably because services are being used somewhere on homepage or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, they're here. So it's, yeah, that's, as I said, like it's pretty detailed. So it found a way to create those things. And by what I'm seeing right now, it seems like a legitimate way to do so, like creating separate templates so that you can reuse them, later create pages for those services, even though like we don't have enough information. We didn't give it enough information. So yeah, services and site settings that have some properties, site name, tagline, phone, email address. So it's like global settings. Okay, so it says it analyzed the Figma and create structure. Even created a canvas for this. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 properties, 3 listing pages. Okay, so yeah, okay, it's for buy and rent property, and then 4 properties. Wait, I guess all the values. So for example, here in property type, it found different property types. In listing status, it's for rent or for sale. Price range. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. and I see it did not add media. So I can say add, I can ask it to add media to properties as well, so that we can have these cover images and these images here as well. Okay, it is creating now media directory in BCMS because it wants to structure everything nicely. So I guess in Media Manager, now we have properties. Here's the first one. Okay, so it uploaded all the files. And I guess now it's going to update entries to use those images. Okay, so here are the cover images for each, I guess. Yeah. So it has separately cover image and gallery. And as you can see, it is using the same image, meaning that it probably tried to have this as a cover image, and then this list below is a gallery, while I'd probably remove the cover image at all and use the first image from the gallery at the top here and here in the list of entries. So there are definitely some amendments you can make, but they are more as a personal preference. Sometimes maybe this will make more sense. But yeah, this is the quick walkthrough of this workflow. Oh, here it even uploaded all images. So yeah, it is a quick workflow to show you how interesting and powerful this AI communication between BCMS and Figma can be. And with all this, you're just one prompt away from saying, okay, give me a simple Next.js project with proper routing, and you kind of get your personalized boilerplate or a starter for a project, like a real project that you are working on.